All right, so let's get you set up with the iMessages sticker pack kit from CartoonSmart.com. This will enable you to basically sell in-app purchasable stickers. So let's get this out of the way real quick. It'll take us about 3 or 4 minutes. When you first get a hold of this, let's set your bundle identifier. Let's get all that out of the way. So you're going to go over here just essentially the name of the project. You've got 2 targets where you need to fill in some information right here. So your bundle identifier, and then your bundle identifier again with .messages extension. So that's already in there. So really all you have to do is replace out this front part, and we're going to do that based on information in iTunes Connect. So of course this assumes that you are a registered developer. You have to be able to sell your apps, otherwise why are you here? So let's go flip over to iTunes Connect. Okay, so let's talk real quickly about setting up your sticker pack app inside of iTunes Connect. You're going to go over here and hit the plus sign, so make a new app. It's going to take you to this screen, and you're just going to want to click off iOS. Don't click off tvOS. Give your app a name, whatever you want that to be. Go over here and just be sure you pick out the country that best fits you, English, US, right? And then the SKU, that can be any number sequence you want. Just make it unique for your apps. And then the bundle ID. Now, if you don't already have a ID set up in here, you're going to need to go and register one first. So you got to go over here to the developer portal, all right? So let me flip over to that. I'll show you how this works. So what you're going to do inside of here is just give it a common description. So I've got one that I haven't set up yet. I think that was paparazzi stickers. This is really just a description for you, so it doesn't matter. It's not like you're naming your app right there. And then you want to go down here to your explicit app ID. Now this is very important. You're going to put in here com dot and then whatever your domain is. All right, so people just traditionally use the reverse of their domain. All right, so I'm going to use mine. Don't use CartoonSmart. It doesn't really matter, but use something that's unique to you. And then traditionally what I do is I just put in here the all lowercase, all one word. Did I get that right? Paparazzi stickers. Okay, so after you've done that, just slide on down here. You don't need to check off anything else. Just go to continue, okay? And that basically registers your identifier for it, okay? And then internet's being slow today. There we go. Click register. All right. Don't worry about this part right here, okay? It's going to put this little part in front. Just don't sweat that, all right? Don't even think about it. And then give it a few moments. You might have to even cancel out and then, make a new one if it is, a brand new app. Otherwise, so take a look here. Paparazzi. I got to go to waiting, prepare for submission. There it is. All right, so then I would go over here and assign the bundle ID to the app itself. Okay, so there's a little connection there between whatever you've named it, paparazzi stickers, and the bundle ID. And just when I was kind of setting this up, I just put in some dummy one. I've got a ton registered, right? So then I'm going to need to go find paparazzi stickers, and it might take a little bit of time for it to show up, a minute or so, and then it's usually in there. Once that happens, well, let's actually just wait for it to happen. Okay, there it is. It really did take about 60 seconds. So you can see now my bundle ID is com.cartoonsmart.paparazzi stickers. All right, so copy that out, and then we'll head back over here to the kit. Okay, so now I can just copy in or paste in exactly that, the bundle ID, okay? Then for your message extension, you're just going to do the same thing over here, but again, leave in messages extension, and you are set. Now, of course, you can change your display name. This has nothing to do with a name in iTunes Connect. Okay, so if you want to just put hearts in here or something like that, that's fine. For this theoretical app, I might just put in paparazzi, right? I don't have to put in paparazzi stickers or make it match the name in iTunes Connect. And most likely, if you do try to do something like that, it's going to make for a kind of a cut-off icon name. Okay, so it's just going to be the name below your icon in the app. All right, then what you want to do is in both of these target areas, click on automatically manage signing. And basically it's going to just go ahead and give you your only provisioning profile probably for signing your apps and things like that. And that's something else that you do setup wise on iTunes Connect. Although actually, come to think of it, these days with Xcode, it really just kind of manages everything for you. So as long as you go over here to your preferences and under accounts, if you sign in with your iTunes Connect information, it should, again, just set up everything for you. So then that just leaves us with setting up the property list, which is incredibly easy. Let me go ahead and just fold up everything so we kind of, you guys get a sense of what it should look like when you get a hold of this. What we have here are basically an array of stickers that we're going to define. So go ahead and unfold this. And you can see I've already just included a few examples in here. They're really actually the first 5 are the same sticker anyway. So unfold this. This would be your first sticker to display. It's just asking for 2 properties, PNG. All right, this is going to be the name of the file. Okay, so if you were to go over here and you'd find example1.png. Okay, spaces are just fine. In fact, they're encouraged. I'll explain why in just a moment. But you're not going to put in here .png afterwards. Okay, now, when we think of PNG files, we usually think of what? Just static images, but you can include animated PNG files in here. And of course, I recommend that because, hey, they look a lot better. And there's a program, I think it's still $1 in the Mac App Store. It's called PNG Animator. All you do is you just dump in your sequential frames to the program, okay, and you can preview it out over here. That's a little frenetic, right? It's a little crazy. You can even add in a bit of time. So change selected. Watch what happens now. So it just do that that's adding a second onto that. And then you just export it out, you name it, I'd name it maybe CartoonSmart space logo .png. And this actually compresses way better than anything that Xcode does. Okay, so if you're familiar with making a traditional sticker pack where you just drag and drop your frames into there, they're nowhere near as small file-wise size. So if you got to keep your stickers under 500 kilobytes, the animated ones, and a lot of times I was going over with just dumping them into Xcode, and so that PNG Animator program really helps out a lot there too. And speaking of dumping them in, that's literally what you're going to do. So once you've exported out your .png file, you're just going to grab it wherever it's at. There we go. And just put it right into there. So it's not going to go into your assets catalog. It's just going to go right in here to this stickers group. And what you want to do is, it's not really going to hurt if you toggle this off, but this is the one that actually matters, your messages extension. So go ahead and I would just click on that one and then just click on finish. And you can see, there you go, you got this. So even if it is animated, it's not going to show up in here as animated. It's not going to look like a GIF where you kind of always see it running. There's no play button over here. That's how you do it. And you can see, obviously, that I've got a nice little name in here with spaces. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. All right, now let's talk about why you would put spaces in here. This file name is also going to be used for the localized description. So if somebody is blind or they just can't see that well, but they still want to send out these cool stickers, there's accessibility settings in the iPhone that helps people, guide them through. So maybe your sticker name is cat smiling. Okay. So don't leave out your blind people. All right. And you'll actually read comments in the store that will basically say, hey, I appreciate you putting in these descriptions for the hard of seeing. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And again, it takes no extra work to do that. And then let's take a look at one of the lock stickers. Okay, so you'll notice over here that we had this set to free equaling true. Down here, if you don't want your sticker to be free, just set this to false. All right, and then that's going to be one of your stickers that people have to pay for. And the way this works is that no matter how many you have set to false over here, if they purchase, they get all of them. Okay, you're not. This isn't enabled to basically sell individual stickers. Sorry, but anyway, so that's those are your 2 settings really, just the file name and the true or false for that. Okay, so let's look at some of the other settings. The in-app ID. This is going to be your product ID that you set up in Xcode. So I guess we should flip back over. iTunes Connect. So let's flip over to that. Okay, so here's paparazzi stickers again. I'm going to go over here to features, and then in-app purchases, just click the plus sign. You want to click on non-consumable, hit create. And drum roll. Might take a moment. All right, so reference name. This is really just for your benefit, and I believe it tells you that. It won't be displayed in the App Store. It's your product ID that we're going to put into the kit, okay? So I traditionally just go with all caps, proper hot. I know I'm spelling that wrong. But this is not something that people see either. You're going to set the price. You just need to put in here a display name. Now that does get seen to people, kind of. Yeah, it does. The description is the one that it's so hard to find that in store. I don't know where you find that. So I usually just put in there something simple like, hey, be the toast of the town. Send more stickers or something like that. And then your screenshot. Who knows? I mean, I usually just real quick take a screenshot of the phone with some of the paid ones. Sometimes it's just some of the free ones. Who knows what they look at there. And then I don't ever put anything in for review notes. Okay, so you just save that out. The important thing is that you're going to copy this, okay, and then you're going to come over here and you're going to put it in for the ID value. And I'm just going to hit undo on that. Okay, so that's it. That's all you have to do to set up for in-app purchasing. Now, let's talk about some of the other features in here. Test in paid mode. If while you're kind of developing this, if you just want to see, hey, what would things look like if someone had bought it, and you don't want to do a test purchase, you can just switch this to yes. The only caveat here is that when you switch it back to no again, it's going to leave in here basically what a default value that essentially says it's been paid for. So you're going to need to delete the app out and then build it again, and it'll wipe out that kind of, you can think of it like a cookie, as a way of remembering that it's been purchased before. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And then and this is not actually something that you need to do if you run an actual test purchase. There's in iTunes Connect, there's a place to set up a test user to basically test your in-app purchases and things like that, and you should be doing that, okay? The only thing there is you also have to, on your phone, log out of your own iTunes account, log in with the test user, and then you basically make a fake purchase that way, and it'll say sandbox environment. So if you read some of the documentation on the website, it'll mention something about a sandbox. That's what it refers to. It's just that, I've kind of done this so many times with so many packs that I get a little tired of doing that logging in and out and everything. So sometimes I'll just go, you know what, I'm just going to see what this looks like if it's paid. Use some of the paid stickers, send my dad, whatever it is, And then purchase text. So you can delete 2 and 3 if you want, and just go with one line of purchase text. And this is just the line that appears over top the. I could go ahead and build this. Basically, it appears over top the stickers, the collection view, and it will cycle through these other lines if you want to include them in here. If you don't want to delete them, maybe you want to know that you have that option, but not delete them. You can just put in here the same value for all 3, okay? And this is building at the moment, so don't worry about all those gobbledygook here at the bottom. Just a lot of stuff shows up in the output window, doesn't really mean anything. And then, so let's go, while that's building, let's keep going through here. So font, you can include your own custom fonts. Just as an example, I put Arial in here, but every iPhone has Arial. And also too, I've included that, I thought I did, the Arial.ttf file. Well, maybe I didn't include it in here. All right. Well, if you want to import in your own custom font, here's what you're going to do. Go to Font Book. So let me go find Font Book. All right. How did we end up there? Let's just find a good one. Okay. Something like, I don't know, ArtBrush, right? So you're going to go over here to Show in Finder. All right, now that's going to pop this up in the Finder, and then you're just going to drag this into Xcode over here, the same way you would drag in your stickers. All right, you just import them in, drag and drop, and let's see, I guess I'll just kind of step it through. What you're going to want to do is just click off Messages extension. You could click off both targets. It doesn't really matter. This is the main one, okay? I'm just going to hit cancel on that, and then what you'll do is, again, looking over here in Font Book, you're going to go, okay, here's the font name, ArtBrush, and then put that over here. And you might have to put in here, if it doesn't work at first, you might have to put in there medium. It just, sometimes it's hard to tell what you got to do with that. So try either one. Capitalization does matter, so you can see that, I should put in there art brush. And again, I'm just going to undo this. But then the last step is to go over here to your info.plist file and then put in here the exact name of the .ttf file. So what we're going to do then is, here's the .ttf file or whatever the font file is. So then you would paste that part in. So important thing to remember is this is going to include the .ttf. This info.plist, this is not something I set up. This is it's something that comes with every Xcode project, and they just have this basically parameter in here for including in your own fonts provided by application. That's what you want to look for, but it'll just be down here at the bottom. So that's how you do that. So back to the CartoonSmart property list over here. Let's keep working it. So buy button wider. I have that set to yes by default. This makes the buy button take up 2/3 of the screen versus half of it. And that looks like, okay, well, where's our test example here? That would look like, there it is. All right, so you can see, you can kind of get the indication that this is taking up more space than the restore button over here. The restore button is required. You have to have it, and there's really nothing in the property list to undo that or take it away or to even change the name of it. Okay, just leave it as is, and you can see the text is cycling through. Okay, so extra vertical spacing, just leave that at 30. Otherwise, what it ends up doing is kind of pushing the stickers down further. The buy button, the button alpha, you can change this. Let's take a look at what it would look like at 1, and basically just it would do a non-transparency at 1 for the background color of the button in there. So right now it's just currently set to basically it was set to invisible. Now it's set to there's no alpha showing through at all, and really it would just show through to the background, and you can see that I've got it just basically kind of a muted gray color, 0.2 for the red, green, and blue. So you can change all those, and but again, I'm just going to set that to 0. I think it actually looks best. The deceleration by default, basically these the stickers in this collection view have a deceleration value of around 0.9. I went ahead and made this a property in case you want people to go through your stickers a bit slower. You actually have that option. So I believe if you could put that to 0.1, it's slower. And then stop off-screen animations. I would assume that the way, because Apple recommends you put these, if you want to do something like what we're doing here, they recommend you put your stickers into a collection view. That's what's containing them right now. I would assume they've baked in a way for these stickers to basically stop running if they're out of view, but I don't know that for certain. So what this does is you can set this to yes, and then it'll make sure that something that is out of view is going to stop animating. Okay, so you might want to do that if you have a lot of animated stickers. And then the background, right now this is set to pattern, which is the front part of this name over here in this file. Okay, so there's a couple things you could do. You could just replace this, so delete it out and replace it, put in their pattern at 2x.png for whatever image you want to show back there, and that will show that image. You can also put in here, and it could be an image as big or as small as you want. It'll also put in here, you can also put in here black, to just do a pure black background, or white. I find a little pattern, if it's subtle, looks kind of nice. It kind of gives the stickers a bit more of a dimensional effect, and it's something cool you can show in your screenshots to maybe indicate that, hey, this is not just a traditional sticker pack. And then put in your transaction ID from your purchase, from your subscription or whatever, from CartoonSmart.com. And then finally, there's one last thing I should mention over here, which is that your lock icon at 2x.png, this is something that will appear over top of your stickers, and the size of this by default is the one that's already in here is 408 by 408. Let's see, Yeah, if you want to replace it, just I guess the easiest thing is just go over to your show and finder, and this will show you the one in the kit itself, and then you can just replace it with another file named lock icon at 2x.png. And if you want to put in here an at 3x.png, that's fine too. There's really not any more 1x devices anymore. So that is about it. I guess one last thing. You can choose, you can put in here stickers of any size, but I traditionally go with regular, which is each sticker is 408 by 408 in size. Okay, so that's I think that's what's gonna look best for you guys and your users out there. Okay, that's it. I hope you guys enjoy working with the sticker pack kit and making some money.